Hi there. Hey, I hope you're doing good this week, and I hope you're enjoying learning about classical music. Beethoven is your assignment this week, and he is one of my favorite composers. And so I want to talk a little bit about this assignment, especially if you're feeling uncomfortable with it, or you're going, oh, I don't know how to write about music. I've never even listened to Beethoven's Fifth. So let's talk about it for a few minutes, and I hope this will make you feel a little bit better. All right, first, what do you know about Beethoven? You've probably discovered quite a bit this week as you've learned more about him. He was an amazing composer. Everybody knows that Beethoven was deaf, but they may not know that much more about him. I'm going to tell you a little story about Beethoven, and then I'll go backwards a little bit. But Beethoven, when he premiered his Ninth Symphony, and that's the symphony with the Ode to Joy in it, and he couldn't hear anything. The audience loved it. They loved this symphony so much, and they were clapping uproariously. And he was up on the stage, and they came and they got him and they turned him around so he could see the audience reaction. And the audience started waving handkerchiefs at him, so to show their appreciation and their love for this wonderful music. So Beethoven was beloved in his time. So, a few things about Beethoven. First, he was a child prodigy. He was really, he became a musician largely, of course, because of his natural gifts, but also because his father. His father was abusive, to be honest. He beat him when he played wrong notes, and he really pushed him hard. Beethoven struggled with a lot of problems throughout his life. We all know about his deafness, but he struggled with depression and anxiety, loneliness. At one time he was suicidal. He had a lot of problems, a lot of emotional issues in his life, and just a difficult life. Financial problems, problems with love, problems all the way around. However, he was a great composer. You know, Mozart, it was hard to impress Mozart. And when Beethoven played for Mozart, when he was younger, Mozart said, keep your eyes on him. Someday he'll give the world something to talk about. So, he certainly did. And we're still talking about him all these years later. He wrote 9 symphonies, and that brings us to our assignment for this week. So Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is what you're going to write about this week. You're going to write a reflective paper about the first movement. So, I hope you'll listen to the whole movement. The last movement is awesome. So, I hope you listen to the whole thing. But write your paper about the first movement. Now, you really want to reflect, music affects us emotionally in different ways. And this paper is all about how this movement of this symphony affects you. Now, you're unique. Everybody in here is unique, so music will affect you in a unique way. It won't affect us all the same way. So you want to be thinking about, well, how does it affect my emotions, my thoughts, my spirit? Or do you feel spiritually moved when you hear this music? Music is meant to trigger emotions and reactions. Sometimes it makes us angry. Sometimes it makes us reflect. Sometimes it awakens feelings, or it activates memories. So you may have heard this before. Maybe this week if you've learned about it, you've learned about the significance in World War II. And so maybe that has some significance to you if you fought in a war, if you have thoughts about wars. Mostly music is meant to touch us. And so I hope that you will feel inspired or touched in some way by this music, and that's what you're going to write about. Some ways to go about doing this. So first, listen to it. And listen several times. Don't just listen once and say, oh, got it. Okay. What do you feel like when you listen? And jot down some notes about what that music makes you want to do. Do you want to go run a marathon to this music? Do you want to go to sleep? What do you want to do? What does it make you? Does it energize you? Or, so the first thing is just, okay, what feelings do you have? Then see if you can identify any musical elements that create those feelings. There's a really strong rhythm in this song. There's that da-da-da-da. That's a really strong motif, isn't it? So see if there's something that resonates with you. Maybe it's that da-da-da-da. That helped so many people during World War II. It was the sound of victory. Does it have that effect on you? And then organize those notes into a short paper. This paper only needs to be 1 to 2 pages. So, it doesn't have to be really long. The important thing, though, I want you to be real. And kind of dig deep to discover your own feelings about it. Feel this music. Don't do a bunch of research and say, well, so-and-so, this expert on Beethoven says this. No, what do you say? You do not need to use any sources for this assignment. You are the source. I do want you to avoid gobbledygook. Now, is that a real word? Yeah, it is. Here's the definition. So the definition is speech or writing that is complicated and difficult to understand. Just write from your heart. Don't write a bunch of nonsense. Here's some examples. Okay, this first one, this is the kind of stuff that would be great. As I listened to the powerful notes of this symphony, knowing Beethoven was deaf, I was inspired to work hard for my goals. That's great. And then you could develop those ideas some more. This would be gobbledygook. As I listened to the symphony, I floated away on a cloud of heavenly joy to the euphoric strains of Beethoven. What does that mean? Okay, so really try to write about your experience, your own thought, and don't think, oh, I'm going to write what she wants to hear. Nope, I want to hear your own experiences. All right, just a few reminders to end today. Please double space. You know, my eyes, oh, they appreciate it so much when you double space, not to mention that's an expectation of APA, so please double space. Include a title page. Again, that's a good habit to get into. Proofread carefully. That's always a good idea. And, you know, I have to say, you're good writers in this class. I'm impressed with your writing, so I don't think things will be a problem. I'm just going to end on this quote that E.M. Forster said about Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. He said, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is the most sublime noise that has ever penetrated into the ear of man. So I hope that you will find this to be sublime noise, and I hope it will move you or inspire you in some way, and then I'm excited to read about how it does just that. So that's it for today, and if you have questions, please send me an instant message and let me know. I'm happy to answer questions always. Thanks so much for listening, and have fun with this assignment. Bye-bye.